Hey, hey, hey. Okay, so, still don't get this side of things, but welcome everybody. We're doing a patch read. I don't need to wear a headset today because it's just talking. But yeah, patch read. We've got confirmation. I'll scroll down. We got confirmation that yes, it is Skaven. Regiment of Renown, Skaven Endgame Crisis, Vermintide. And Vermintide, good morning, Lynx! Welcome! And the Vermintide is perfect for Teeny because Teeny goes to war with all the Skaven. So I feel like we're doing Teeny Weeny tonight, and you guys get a vote when the Vermintide happens. I kind of want it to happen early because, hey, getting a completely fucked Teeny campaign could be kind of fun. I think it would be great. But we're doing patch right now, and I need to warn you, there's most likely going to be a break. I'm going to most likely, after the patch read, I want to not spend too much time on the patch. Enough time to go and figure out what's going on. But I need a shower. So good morning, everybody. Hey, Lynx. Hey, Drayson. Hey, NEG. Hey, Volnir. Hey, Scott. We are playing Teeny tonight, but we're doing patch read now because some people like having the patch read to them. If you guys ever feel like, nope, you don't like the patch reads anymore, you can let me know. I think I'm always going to just do a quick poll prior to a patch because I don't mind reading them just for myself and skimming. But I'm also happy to read them for you guys. Is story time with dyslexic reader. Super great. But yeah. And then we can go and also chatter about what we think's good, what we think's stupid, if we think CA listens to us, or if they don't. We'll see. From the little snippets I've seen people post, it sounds like CA has listened. Be right back. No problem. Welcome, Wolf's Pal. So, you guys get a vote on the Vermintide for Teeny Weeny tonight. That's your job, and I do the reading. Closest thing to reading Ash Audibles we are gonna get. Kinda true. But yes. So we got our update. We've got new Regiment of Renown. That's the other exciting thing. So we got the Vermintide, which is rats. I don't think we need to explain much there, and we're going to experience that. Then we got fresh Regiment of Renown. Cathay has the Terra Sentinel, and he gets, I haven't actually read this part, I legit just skimmed the very top of it. Ability redirecting aura. Enemy units within range of the aura will have their projectiles redirected back at themselves. Ooh, that's cool. So it's got the missile mirror, sort of. Yeah, I like that. That's actually really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. But the Regiment of Renown for the new races have so far all been, 90% been really good, being real. Coolest ROR ever. A little bit. That is very good. That is really good. I mean, he still can be stabbed quite heavily, but for big chunk boys, having missile mirror to a certain degree, it's not saying, is it really 100% of it? I wonder how big the aura is. That's pretty cool. And more missile resistance, stat adjustment. Oh, okay, that is so compared to the other ones. Then we got Bloodthirster for Corn. Here, Gorshell the Bloodthirster gains damage resistance when near large enemy targets. So making it more anti-large. Okay, fair enough. Well, not making it more anti-large, but meaning it can handle being hit by large things. I don't know how useful this one's going to be. This one feels like it's not going to be super useful. This one sounds beautiful. But this ability sounds Personal opinion, don't know. One would need to try it. The spell reflects 100%, so I'm assuming this is the same. I'm thinking that as well, but we need to see. So next time we play Cathay, we'll try to go and recruit one, or someone else will. If you've already managed to go and recruit one, and yo man, good on you for getting that far in a Cathay campaign. Probably good against mixed groups. Maybe, but I'm thinking this one is not as useful as this one. This ability seems really good. This ability seems nice. I think they just have the best one on top. We'll see, though. Then we got the Elemental Bear, which... The bears aren't that great, honestly, in my personal opinion. But he gets Heart of Winter spell. Ooh, he gets Heart of Winter. Ooh. One time only? I don't know, but Heart of Winter is actually pretty good, so I'm down with that. That would be good against chaff zombies. The Heart of Winter, yeah, would be, definitely. Not as good as some fire things, but really good. This really hurts. Heart of Winter really hurts, so having a free one, I think that's worth it. I think that's good. Now Nurgle. We get a Uncle Furuncle. We get Uncle Furuncle. He heals himself while damaging enemies around him. Oh god. Oh god. It's an active ability. But still, oh god. Nurgle with its healing and hit points. This could be really nice. This could be very nice. Okay, so right now for me it's Terracotta Sentinels and Uncle Furuncle. Our big unclean one. Those two are getting my current spell update. My Miasma of Pestilence turns into Spirit Leech. Instead, I think I actually appreciate this. Spirit Leech costs less, which isn't really important here, but it feels like Spirit Leech does more. Spirit Leech just feels more effective. I don't know, but I think maybe. Miasma of Pestilence just isn't very good. So when I see it, I just kind of ignore it. Hey, Nathan, you're up early? Well, I'm done from work early, and after this patch read, I need a shower. Then for the ogres, we got a Stonehorn, an Ice Stonehorn, so let's see what he gets. They all have special names. Maybe I should be reading those. He gets Glacial Defense active, so we need to activate. Stonehorn gains increased armor and missile resistance at the expense of some speed. They can be peppered pretty heavily, especially since they lost some missile resistance a bit back. Might be worth it. Reduces the speed of enemies this unit strikes in melee. Okay, this one's getting an from me. Stonehorns are great. I don't know if this is enough of a difference to a basic Stonehorn to make it especially great. Whereas we've got two especially greats from just reading without actually checking. So they didn't fix in supply lines? I don't know. I haven't gotten that far, but you might have. Well, this one is useless a little bit. Nurgle becomes vampiric. Ooh, God, imagine if all Nurgle units had basic regen. Or, any of the... That would be so painful. I'd never want to fight Nurgle. I changed my mind about Slaanesh. I'd be like, no. It's Nurgle. I don't want to fight them ever. Hey, Marcus. Welcome. Next, we've got Slaanesh. We got our Keeper of Secrets. What do we get for him? We get Festering on Fear. It's passive. Regenerates health based on number of enemies who have had their morale break around the Keeper of Secrets. Based on number of enemies who have had their morale break around. I'm assuming that means just broken units and not... I'm assuming broken units around you and not just it starts going higher and higher and higher. That's just worded weirdly. Spell update, Lash of Slaanesh turns into Phantasmagoria. I like Phantasmagoria. However, I think it's a bit of a shame if we lose Lash. Spell update, Acquiescence turns into Enfeebling Foe. I can't remember which spell this is. So... I'm gonna go this one, This one, I'm just not sure because of the wording. So what do we got for Siege? We got ourselves, a Lord of Change, beautiful golden boy. He gets increased armor, permanent glittering robe. Ooh, that's nice. Spell update, Blue Fire of Siege turns into Searing Doom. Searing Doom is the drop-down one, right? Yeah, it is. Pink Fire Exchange turns into Gehenna's Golden Hounds. Okay. Okay, by a clear shot, Cathay and Nurgle win. Straight up, Cathay and Nurgle win. Yeah. I sure hope they've made Warhammer great again. Sure hope so, too. I've seen some people post some things that sound like it has been. Then we got the Vermintide. So, we don't have that many as soon as possible. What is this? Vote for soon. I want soon. Hounds is meh, isn't it? Yeah, Hounds is meh. This is... So this is feeling and not actual tested. I haven't tested this because in Warhammer 2 I didn't use much metal magic. But from when I did use it, Gehenna's felt like it worked better in Warhammer 2. Not sure if that's actually true, just felt that way. Either way, Gehenna's in Warhammer 3, I just don't like it straight up. I use it because I have it, not because I like it. Searing Doom, on the other hand, if that is... Love me some Searing Doom. Hey, Kill. Welcome, Lion. Hey, Lion. And hey, Phil. But, yeah, that part. So, the change, I'm kind of... I feel like Cathay and Nurgle, like, clear winners in Regiment of Renown. The one for the ogres is just nice because it's good to have one that you can just recruit straight away, but I guess for all of them, the recruitment side of it is nice, but yeah. Yeah, Cathay and Nurgle win. Straight up. Landslide. Gehenna's Overcast is decent, not great. Warhammer 2 was better. Okay, so it's not just me feeling that way. Because it just feels like in Warhammer 3, it just doesn't have much of a punch. Like, at all. And I haven't tried overcasting Gehenna, so maybe I need to do that and see if I feel a bit better about it that way, but I don't otherwise. Yes, Searing Doom is that... nice. I'm glad we understand what that means. So, the Skaven Undercities are erupting, burrowed deep beneath the surface. The Skaven are expanding their underground empire to the furthest corners of the old world, with warp bombs ready to turn your settlements to ash, plus hordes of vermin spewing out from the dirt in the name of the Underfather. Willing factions must race to wipe the major Skaven factions off the map and put a stop to the Vermintide. But tread carefully, for every Skaven clan that's yet to be slain makes the eruption Undercities even deadlier. Yes. Oh, I'm wondering if it's not just extra armies, if we're going to get a bunch of Undercities suddenly pop up. Ooh, that could be really cool. Because the armies and everything are nice, they're cool, they're fine. But if we get, like, Undercities everywhere, that would be really nice. Skaven Endgame Crisis is high-key fucking terrifying. Hey, I'm looking forward to it. I think this could be great. And I'm looking forward to it. So, we got some stability and performance issues. I think the big one here is the fixed end of turn crash that a bunch of people have had. I haven't actually gotten that crash, so I don't know about it, but supposedly it's fixed for those of you who have it. Or who have had it. Hey. But yeah. Save up 100k gold to destroy all the Undercities. Well, if you kill the ooh, yeah. the price. Well, you only need to destroy them if they're problematic, if they have problematic buildings in them. If they don't, you're okay. So we'll see. Then we've got a fixed rare crash when characters would trigger post-battle voiceover lines in the campaign. So there is a crash besides the voice lines, because I think we've all had it where the characters keep talking or the music keeps playing when it should stop. But I didn't know there was a crash connected to it. Gameplay. Below are changes made to the gameplay rules, AI, and other mechanics that dictate how the game is played. Rules and systems. How they play. Events and campaign starts have been rewritten to cover core gameplay elements for every faction. Okay, so we're getting more faction specific. That's nice. Removed a number of starting wars between factions who were not their intended starting opponents. This is unlikely to affect player experience directly, but will improve the performance of AI factions such as the Demon Prince. Okay, whatever. I don't play Demon Prince, so I don't know. Updated reinforcement locations within various faction settlements to prevent unintended enemy behavior. Updated reinforcement locations within various faction settlements. Is that... I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that's blocking people coming in from my rear. Effect that increased healing caps are no longer 100 times stronger than intended. It's okay. So some people had too high caps. Nice. Phil, Skaven in Game Crisis happens when the biggest rat who makes all the rules turns up. Hell yeah. Settlements. Also, hi Mike. Vermintide will be first fun crisis for Mommy Catter and methinks. I think it will be fun for a bunch of people. So Vermintide should be good for Teeny Weeny because he goes to war with all the rats. It should be good for anyone going up for 8 peaks that isn't... What's his face? Who isn't Head Taker. And... anyone who goes up and is in direct conflict with the rats. I think that could be really fun. And just in general, because the rats are kind of annoying, I think it could be real good. What's a decimal and what is a percentage, lol? Yeah, the healing, yeah. Settlements and deploy towers have had their damage reduced to be consistent with Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2. Oh, that kind of makes me sad. Oh no, we might be a little bit more in trouble because Lizard's got good towers. Ooh, and Nurgle. Oh, for shame. See, I'm one of the few people who like the towers and the deployable stuff, but fair enough. A lot of people don't like them, fair enough. No more sneak capping after this patch, by the way, friends. Oh, really? Ooh, well, we'll definitely still give it a shot, because that is dangerous. When colonizing runes, you now take a temporary vigor penalty instead of a massive manpower loss. I guess that's good, maybe. It's interesting, it's different. Fix some quest items that provide magical attack, despite the legendary lord having magical attack by default. That's nothing important. Fix an issue where Sword of Cain didn't correctly transfer post-battle if its owner died, resulting in it equipping to another Lord hero. Yeah, this one's funny. I've seen so many Swords of Cains floating about. But yeah, finally, next step, set up towers only at the start. And once destroyed, they're gone. Oh, no, I don't want this. I like the towers. But I understand a lot of people don't like them. When colonizing runes, fix some quests, fix an issue where vassalized factions would lose objective completion upon reloading a save file. I would not know about this because I don't do vassals. Fix an issue where auto-resolve battle results would change after loading a quick save. This one's kind of funny. Remove the cap for income provided by tribute from vassal. Oh, this is good for Nakai. Really nice for Nakai because, yeah. Phil, not sure how I feel about the ruins colonization change since I tend to take advantage of raids into soft upscare enemy armies. Oh, interesting. Since I don't do that, I'm just like, I guess I can now do it with my legendary lords and, actual full armies, because I usually just recruit an extra lord to go and build them if I'm going to take a ruin. But I don't use them as a damaging tool. But yeah, that could change things. That could change stuff for a different playstyle than mine, definitely. Was manpower loss ever a problem? Why fix this? As some people use it differently, I don't know. Different playstyles. And, changing style of thought, maybe? Endgame ultimate victory objectives now support vassalizing factions as an alternate option to confederate or destroying them. I kind of assumed this was acceptable already, just because that would be real painful for certain people. In-game scenarios now trigger the research of all technologies for the respective factions automatically. Now trigger the research of all technologies. I don't know what that means. The free upkeep effect on endgame scenario armies is now visible to the player. Oh. Mounted Marauder variants will no longer fire autonomously in melee, though it is still possibly to manually Why can't I read? Though it is still possible to manually order the unit to fire, we are investigating other causes of units that gain large amounts of performance from their similar behaviors. I don't like that, because there are quite a few units that in battle will continue firing. You just need to have auto fire on usually. And I feel like that should stay because that makes sense. If you're a bunch of gunmen and there's one gunman fighting in melee, the gunman behind him can go and shoot the dude he's fighting. Just, the ones in base melee shouldn't. Rain Ash, you know what to do now, lol. Do I? Date at least 50-50 somewhat? I don't know what to do. I mean, you'd always send a solo lord to colonize, right? Exactly, that's what I would do. But now, I guess, if we're not losing units, if we're not losing, if we're not taking damage and we're just getting fatigued, I'll use my armies. Fair enough. That was about the... Oh, never. We shall never vassalize. Specific things I don't do. Vassalize? Play the demon boy. Yeah, what the fuck? Pink Horrors, e.g. this is a nerf to Fort Siege. I haven't gotten to the Pink Horrors. Oh, are the Pink Horrors one of the ones that can fire while still in melee? Oh, that's a shame. There are a couple, because Thunderers do. That's where I notice it most. And a bunch of other units do as well. And I feel like they should be able to do that. That doesn't feel wrong. Allied Recruitment will now provide access to all units offered by the requisite DLC, if owned. Okay, so now we can get... Nice. That's really good. As before, there is a subset of units available to non-DLC owners. Fair enough. Good. Darren's. It means those factions that are activated in the endgame get all their techs... Oh, thank you. Get all of their techs unlocked, automatically giving them more buffs. Sorry if you had figured that out. I hadn't figured that out. Thank you. Ooh, shit. Oh, that's actually really scary. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. That's good. That's it. That makes things a lot scarier. Just consider, see, right now all I'm thinking about Skaven endgame. I'm not thinking about the other ones. Vampires, it would be really good. I don't know Tomb King tech well enough to know if it's really good for Tomb Kings. But it would be, ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that should be, yeah, that, oh, God. Oh, nice. I like that a lot. Oh, God. And a lot of these things are making me go, oh, shit, nice. Because they're actually like, this will actually definitely increase the difficulty of one endgame crisis. And a bunch of other random things. There were some other ones. Let my brain fire while they're not personally in combat. But otherwise, yeah, this sounds good. Allied Recruitment will now provide access to all units offered by the... Yeah, read that. Add an increased trade focus benefit to the ports of Marienburg, Lothern, Erengrad, and Bordelot. Good, because it's really sad when you don't... You need... Yeah. Campaign reductions to the Winds of Magic cost should now properly affect overcast spells. Dragon Fang mounts are now properly available to the intended Warhammer 3 factions. Dragon Fang mounts. I'm not sure which one are Dragon Fang. Because I don't name anything correctly. Billy patch applies and previous patch save files won't get vermintide, I suppose. You won't get vermintide. No Regiment of Renown. But otherwise it should apply. Oh, and the tech thing. You most likely won't get the tech. So anything that has to do with endgame crisis, I think you won't get. You won't get the Regiment of Renown. But I think that's all that you're missing out on. Otherwise, everything should apply. Like, towers should change. Maybe you'll even get the tech stuff. I'm not sure. If you have Ultimate Crisis on, who knows? But I don't think you'll get Vermintide. But yeah. We've implemented... Oh no, it's gone! We've implemented additional fixes for instances of flying units being able to capture points, this time affecting Mage, Fire, Dragon-mounted, High Elves, yup. Phoenix-mounted, Techless, Glade Camp, yup, they're gone. They're gone. It's gone. It's gone. No Regiment of Renown? No Regiment of Renown. That's the only one I'm like pretty like 99% certain on. You don't get the ROR. No. You can increase hero capacity in the Mortuary Cult with Tomb Kings now? Oh, so the tech's good then for them as well. But yeah, no Regiment of Renown. If you're playing one of them, you shouldn't be getting Regiment of Renown unless you start a new campaign. But it's gone. The Blood Pack incidents would regulate all fire between turns 10 and 20. Given the duration of most campaigns, this meant that around 20% of the campaign battles were actually being fought with a completely different pace and balance than intended. Blood Pack incidents? Who knows what the Blood Pack incidents are? Is that Beastman? Okay, ain't got. That's not the DLC, is it? There's some kind of blood. Okay, let's quickly Google Blood Pack incidents. Let's quickly Google. No idea. Was confused myself. Yep. No. I shouldn't be Googling this completely in front of you. Yup, all we're getting is... Okay. No. That's like the bloody charge, etc. right where it gives worldwide modifiers. Someone said, yeah. Or like the boosted wins for all... Oh! Winds of Pain and stuff like that, you mean? Still don't know. Okay, so... Oh, no. I know what you're on. The blood packs. Are those the demon things? Are those the demon rituals? That's one of them. Ah, okay. The events which fire when you have the blood pack installed. They're events that are triggered of having the blood pack? I thought blood pack was just aesthetic. Not the demon rituals. Okay. I thought the blood pack was just the blood and nothing gameplay related. The blood pack adds the events, the Savage Blow, Winds of Pain. Oh, that's sad. I don't like that. I think everyone should get those. Like, I didn't mind the blood pack DLC that much because it was just aesthetically blood and like, whatever, not everyone needs blood. But it shouldn't have Winds of Pain. That's sad. I'm sorry. I didn't know it had mechanics connected to it. That's... whatever. Races balance. General, each allied outpost in Tomb Kings or Beastman settlements will now grant +1 unit capacity for all of that faction's units. So now you can get Tomb King units. They're worthwhile. So it's weird. It is a bit weird. Hi, Wolfspout. Adding missing UI tooltips to spiders, feral bears, and feral ice bear units. We significantly buffed many used across all undead races combined with the switch to percentage-based healing in Total War Warhammer 3. This significantly reduced the impact that crumbling has on units whose leadership has broken. As a result, we're slightly increasing the damage of crumbling to help with clearing out undead enemies that are falling apart. I feel like that should happen, specifically with vampires. Crumbling Tomb King's Vampire Coast, Vampire Counts. Counts had this issue as well? Yes, Vampire Counts did have this issue. Fair enough. I don't know about Tomb Kings. They're the only one I didn't play. Yeah, it makes sense that they go and up that. the demons feel like they just are ripped apart, and the undead were doing really well. Can you start again? Nope, man. I want to get through this so I can have a shower and that we can play Teeny Weeny later. So we're doing this. We're having fun with this. I get a shower, maybe a teeny nap, then we get teeny. No restarting. Channeling and Winds of Magic replenishment. Several races lacking the channeling stance now have their own unique method. Nice, that is necessary. Unique method for replenishing Winds of Magic. This is very necessary because it's really problematic for some of them. Beastman, it gets spicy after hours. This faction now benefits from greatly increased Winds of Magic replenishment during full moon events. Okay, that's nice. Okay. Greenskin, based on their faction-wide wall level gain per turn for all forces. -3 when it's really low. Okay, that's really good. Then having high wall like that, I like that. Lizardmen, like the rest of the lizard race, Nakai now has access to channeling stance. Good. Norska, gain 10 Winds of Magic per turn when in raiding stance. This is really nice for Norska specifically. Devotion to the Eagle now grants Winds of Magic power capacity. Nice. Coast, the flagship expansion stance, only available at sea, now offers the following Winds of Magic options: +20 of magic per turn, own army, +10 Winds of Magic per turn, forces within the sphere of influence. Only available at sea. Okay, they are meant to be in the water, so fair enough. What else? What else? Major settlements buildings now grant 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 Winds of Magic power, a magic reserve per turn to local armies. Magic Forest give you magic fair. Abduct captives post-battle options now offers 5 Winds of Magic reserve. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Kill them, feed the earth with their blood. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Gives the Wood Elves, a little more bloodthirst. Teeny Weeny, it's... yes, Teeny's great. Beastman. So I know Beastman got a couple buffs in this update. We're raising the multiplayer cost of all... no, not checking that, because that's adding cost. Across the board, Giants have been not a popular unit in any race or game mode, despite the addition of missile resistance. We are... again, giving them a blanket buff, increasing their armor and weapon strength to make them one of the hardest hitting units in the game. They'll still be a slow, huge target, so we believe that this should bring them into the meta without making them too oppressive. They're like, use our giants! Minotaurs are another unit that has been performing poorly, especially when Chaos Spawn occupy a similar design space. For now, we are giving them a boost to their hit points, allowing more time to benefit from their blood greed passive paired with reductions to their multiplayer costs. Ignore the multiplayer. Sorry, people who play multiplayer, we do tend to skip those parts. But more health is nice. You are going to play with whom's Teeny Weeny is Tahenna Win. Tahenna Win. Tahenna Win. Torax, the Brass Bull. Oh no, general update. Please buff Torax Rampage. Hopefully, because it looked... So I watched part of Legends. I see part of it because, like, in and out. So I've seen a chunk... I watched a chunk of a Legend stream for Torax, and the momentum looked so shit. It didn't look good. That is Tahenna Win. So we'll see. Beastmen no longer unlock Dark Elf ports when erecting a herdstone. They also no longer use their basic port and special port locations. Good. Maybe. Torax now gains 1 momentum from the first battle he fights each turn. So he's getting a little buff. Momentum will no longer decay after concluding a rampage only when Torax fights another battle. Okay, momentum granted at the start of a new rampage. 1 to 3. One needs to play it to figure out if that's enough to make it good. Because it was not looking good. It's more like slow page now. Campaign the Eye of the Gods event no longer targets an army that does not belong to the player's faction. Oak of Ages settlements will now correctly provide a unique herdstone building chain when occupied. Didn't even know about that. Battles Fall of Men quest battle card friends will now spawn during the battle as intended. Updated the intro camera height. Units. Okay. Minor change. Okay, we'll go minor buff. Minor buff. These are all light smidging of numbers. This is a decent amount of health. So, health. Okay. But it shows you what sucks in multiplayer. Skills Krithwa, their Malagor, now offers missile resistance instead of missile damage to his army as per his Warhammer 2 effect. That's nice. That's good. Technology are now correctly labeled as challenges in the search field. Okay, good. Bretonia campaign, fixed battle pilgrim unit cards. Hey, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Kabuxen. Carl Franz got the Lecter counts to fight this battle. Did he? He never turned up. He's just like, yo, not my business, not my problem. Patch seems good. So far, most of it. There's some things that make me go, But you know, they're not like bad things. They're just things where I'm like, but don't do this to me. Don't do this. Campaign fixed battle pilgrim unit cards not showing on buildings for Bretonia. A rare soft lock that could occur during AI Bretonian factions turns has been fixed. Fixed the unavailability of the Bretonian brothel building. The Fae Enchantress quest for Morgiana's Mirror will no longer autocomplete when constructing any building rather than the specific tower of the Enchantress. There are a couple things that just weirdly you get early without getting things, without doing them correctly. Fixed Rapunzel's starting mission for Pierre Dardenne, banner not complete. Eating. Battles, updated character abilities in the chalice. Enabling the missing army in Rapunzel's Sword of Leona's quest battle. Meaning players can now complete it. Units, chop! We got some minor changes, a lot of speed changes for Bretonia. Yeah, just speed changes. Yep, just speed changes. Abilities, Dolores Blade, Green Knight, remove the buff to melee-based damage as the Green Knight does not benefit from it. Duration 27-33 seconds. What? The increase the time? I'm assuming it has other buffs as well in there that aren't just melee. Fix the unavailability, so are brothels now available or unavailable? I feel like they are now available where they should have been available, where they were previously unavailable, however should have been available. Demon Prince can now use their basic port and special port locations. I don't have many opinions on the Demon Prince. The Demon Prince deity-specific post-battle captives option now offer an additional effect in addition to Glory Corn unit experience, replenishment for Nurgle, favor for Slaanesh, and winds of magic for Tzeentch. Units, Chaos Fury's multiplayer cost has changed. Were his specifically bad? I don't know. Skills now properly applies its effect to Chaos Warshrine units. Freakish Mutations now properly applies. Dark Elves. Dev note, the Dark Elf slave system felt too passive. We got something tasty! We got something tasty! But yes. The Dark Elf slave system felt too passive, so we've made things a bit more dynamic by removing the slave cap on minor settlements. Players can now utilize the global effects at the cost of their public order to focus on capacity. Instead, have a settlement utilize around 100 slaves to keep their infrastructure bonuses active. Okay, I actually want to play that. Other settlements in the meantime can keep their capacity lower and just use slaves when maximum capacity is reached. Okay. Once you get a chance to play it with it, let us know what you think, whether the system is now too punishing or if it is still too passive. Okay. Interested in playing Dark Elves again, a little bit, just to find out if I like this system more than the other one. But yeah. Legend might like that. Might, I would go and put a heavy might on that because it's allowing you to do light altercations. It might just become more micromanagement with not much reward. If there's not enough reward for the micromanagement, it might be a bit better, but I don't know. If it's micro, one really needs to play if this is micro with enough reward. We'll see. General updates. Cleaned up redundant help page information regarding Dark Elf slave mechanic. Yep. Dark Elf racial mechanics. Starting number of slaves. You get less. Cost went up. Slave right cost. Dictat cost. Sorry. Dictat cooldown. Open market. Okay. It's a return then. Which one's open market? I don't know them by heart. Several adjustments have been made to the slave drain in relation to public order. If public order is insecure, wavering or weak, the slave drain rate from building now increments to Okay. Might be half nerf, half buff. It might be. I feel like it's not gonna be that much of a buff. I feel like we'll see. I want to see. It might be, because beforehand it was quite passive, but at the same time you just needed to always quickly go and do your, I want to call them pleasure parties, but they're not pleasure parties. I can't remember the correct name, but just do it all the time, and it was a low bonus for doing it, so we'll see. Several adjustments have been made to the slave capacity brackets have also been adjusted as follow. Tier 1's gone up to 800. Yeah, okay. So this seems good. This seems good because capacity was also a bit of a problem. If you got further into the game, you'd run out of, you'd have more slaves than you had capacity. I mean, as in you would always be at full. So we'll see about that. Because it has bumped up by a lot. It's doubled. Has it doubled for all of them? Why is... It hasn't. No, it's become less. No, it's become... Okay, no, it's just really rebalanced. Okay, so it is more. It's doubled at the end, but at different tiers. Okay, that is a weird rebalancing. Okay. We'll see, but we've got more capacity now. That's good. I like that. You get less at lower tier and more at higher tiers. Yeah. Well, not even specifically that. What's it called? Right at the beginning, you have more capacity, which I feel is good because you need more capacity in the beginning. Then here, we still have more capacity at tier 2. Then at tier 3, this is where we start getting lower capacity. Tier 3 is like slow down. Then we jump up to, again, slow at 4. And then at 5, we're, again, at higher capacity. So it's just tier 3 and tier 4 that we have less capacity than before. But at tier 5, we get double the capacity we could have had. But yeah, modified tier potential probably to enable diversity in playstyle. Maybe. I think it's also to give you a good reason to push up to here. So currently, the most profit you'd gain if you wanted to grow stuff is go tier 2 and then rush 5 for your main settlement. Like going tier 3 for your mine or settlements for capacity, if you're just looking for capacity, Oh, this is also going to make it you poorer. Ooh, is this just number shifting? In some settlements, this is just going to be number shifting and make some settlements have... Interesting, this is very number shifting, because depending on how many minor settlements you have, which can only reach tier 3, the gain you get at tier 5 will be lost, possibly. Not completely, just because it's not that much of a change, but interesting. So we'll keep 4 settlement city thingamajiggies, ones where you've got 4 cities in a province. It will keep them balanced. I think that's what it is. They're trying to balance this with the minor settlements. Interesting that they kept this one low, though, as well. Maybe so you see it. No, tier 2 is also low. Was it? Oh, shit, tier 2 is also lower. I misread, sorry. Yeah, it is. Ew. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's just tier 1 that's higher. Thank you for going and pointing out my inability to read. I do appreciate it, by the way. It's good to know. Interesting. Yeah, one would need to play it to figure out if this is nice or not. One would 100%. But it's interesting to see them going and messing with this because Dark Elves did gain a little bit of a... It took away from them the changes of the new mechanic for me a little bit. It didn't feel as much, ooh, I can make bank like crazy and I need to balance my public order and this and that. It turned into, let me put my growth down, this, done. And then I was done with slaves. That's all I had. Just go and put your little effects on. Which was kind of, it's a button to press every few turns. It's okay. But yeah. Patch won't run away. Don't worry, it won't. Patch is here. We can always come back to it if need be. Commandants to the increased production commandant now has following effects. A bit more growth. And more slave income. Okay. Sacrifice for Cain. It's doubled for both of those. And here, slave decline by a bit more. Roads now additionally reduce the slave cost of dictats by 10%. I don't know if I have any. I don't have real opinions on that. Buildings, industry chain. Okay, so for most of these, I think I'm going to really skim now just because most of this stuff seems like just you need to play and see how it feels. If it feels good or if it feels iffy. So this is a play and see. Play and see. Public order penalty. Okay, so more, that's fine. I'm fine with a bit more. Decreased. Interesting. So at tier 5, we get more capacity, but we're losing quite a bit out over here. Ooh. That one's interesting because that's a significant decrease. Right. Campaign. Ricard's Whip of Agony quest battle now correctly offers a recruitable black arc as a reward. Malice Right Gift of the Witch King now gives experience to the spawned hero. The number of settlements in Malekith's faction is now displayed when performing the rite. The Dark Elf Long Victory reward now grants 15% income from slaves. Nice. Fix luck here being wrongly affected by loyalty. Nah. Battles, updated character abilities in the Warp Sword of Cain quest battle. Skills, Ricard's Carrying Crows. Murder prowess wouldn't always display in battle. Traits, Morathi will no longer gain the Corrupted by Slaanesh character trait. Fix Morathi's Technology Festival of Ruin and enlist debauchery, better adding Chaos and Divided Corruption instead of Slaanesh Corruption. Were they? I thought they were spreading the correct one. Not specifically these two. Oh, her text. I didn't check the text. Didn't pay attention to the text. I thought they were just written wrong. Did I? I don't know. I most likely just didn't pay attention. Fix Morathi's quest items, Heartrender, and the Dark Sword spreading Chaos and Divided Corruption. See, I thought these ones were showing just written wrong, but spreading the right thing. That sucks if they weren't. We is the best! I can't wait to do Gobble campaign with Mega XP bonuses now. Nice. Dwarfs, general updates. Rebalancing of the starting severity of some starting grudges for the Dwarf Legendary Lords. Makes sense, because the grudges are currently really weird. Where the grudge severity was increased far more quickly than intended. Makes sense, because the grudges were messed up. Move Beligar's Vanguard deployment benefit from his Lord effects to his faction effects. Dwarfs no longer retain their mohawks after losing their head, which, let's be honest, was quite the skill. Pretty great. Campaign Dwarfs no longer declare war on other AI Dwarfs during the Grudge Too Far in games. Oh, fixed an issue where Gotrek could not equip Dwarf runes. Thorgrim Grudgebearer starting engineer now has his unique starting trait, as does Cazador. Add in an army-wide 20% missile block chance to Beligar's lore trait. Items fix the icon incorrectly, claiming that unique items in the forge could be crafted multiple times. Yep. Cathay, where Cathay yin and yang buildings could be converted into each other. Fix unintended cases where Cathay yin and yang buildings could be converted into each other. Wasn't that intended? Isn't that intended? Or is this specifically like the walls where you get the colored walls in a minor settlement and you're not? Isn't that an intended thing? Gotrek has been converted to a hero unit with a tech tree. It's not happening. It's not happening. Sorry, Ethereal. Both Miao Yin and Zhao Ming no longer have access to active spells or abilities within their dragon transformation, with the exception of the following. It was really nice having it, but this makes sense. Dragon's Breath, Talons of the Night, Eye of the Storm. Which one's Talons of the Night? Which one's Eye of the Storm? Talons of the Night is the grabby, right? That's good. Eye of the Storm. Is that the drop? I think that's the drop dragon. And that's only 3. Does one of them only get 1 spell? Does Meow only get her Talons of the Night? I'm not sure. Rain and Ash, hey, all hope everyone's good. Happy to see some updates. Hopefully it is seeming good. So far it seems good. I had a quick go with Marathi and so far just fought various land battles so far. Nice, good. Campaign, the Caravan encounter a gift from Int will now only offer units that will fit within the 20 unit cap of Caravan army. So if you got 20 units, no units will be offered. Fair enough. Fix the Dragon Emperor's Wrath. Okay, compass ability not causing enemy armies to take attrition in Mortal Empires. I pretty much never used that one, so I never even noticed. Greenskins, general updates. When an AI Greenskin faction completes the event, message will now display the faction in question and will only display if the player has met the faction through diplomacy. Nice. The Pig Barter settlement chain is now appropriately that of a major settlement. Grimgore Ironhide quest item, Bloodforge armor, Short Victory underwent some tweaks to bring in line with other short victories. Grimgore more accurate. I'm reaching the point where we're beginning to skim faster. Regions Grimgore short victory objectives. So he only needs 5 of whatever he needed. Grom the Paunch. Cooking greens not unlocking when completing his quest battle or when... Yeah, some of his items were missing. Some of his food was missing. Skarsnik. Now playing experience for heroes. Okay, extra XP. Well, fixed XP. Skarsnik recruitment building chain now starts at level 2. Honestly, Skarsnik was doing fine, but having it at level 2 would be nice. Fixed Wozak being able to recruit the Idol of Gork, Regiment Renown at rank 2 rather than... Units, Giants get some extra bonuses, as we know for all of the Giants. Goblin Wolf Chariots get less projectiles. The Tiefwabbas, Regiment of Renown, now correctly has Strider as opposed to a depreciated and non-functional attribute. High Elves, Devno, although they remain capable in campaign, High Elves have been called out for their overall underperformance in multiplayer despite implementing numerous yet supposedly they suck. In multiplayer, we are also adding Martial Masteries to Sword Masters of Hoeth and Lore Masters, some of the best combatants in High Elf roster. We believe this to be not only appropriate buff for performance runes, but also thematic ones. I'm amazed they didn't have it. General updates. Fix some text in a list. Ooh! We've got movements! There are people moving! I forgot. There's supposed to be people moving, aren't there? Is that happening now? Has that happened? Has someone checked? Has someone checked if the characters that might be moving, Lithanar, Kugoth, and a couple others, have they been moved? Because supposedly they were going to be moved. You checked? Or have they moved, Skave and Dan? It has? They've been moved? Damn, I thought that was a proper thing for Wozug as a nice little boost to the beginning, not a bug. No, that was a bug. That was a bug. I didn't check Nurgle, but the others have. Okay, so they got their new placements. I don't know where those are. I kind of want to go and check that. General updates. Ethel Temeral panel. Off with ellipsis for several languages. We play in English, so that's not an issue. Campaign Legendary Lord quest granting unique items will now grant the ancillary if the mission is cancelled. Grant ancillary if the mission is cancelled. Ancillary. The High Elf Nobles gain influence agent action now grants influence over time as in Warhammer 2. Thank God! This made me really sad because this update in Warhammer 2 was a really nice one. It meant you might use your nobles more. Yeah, them switching back when was heading towards the noble farm again, which I don't think they like. I don't think they like the noble farm, so I don't get why they did it. Because this is such a nice thing to have. So your active nobles, because you still might want a noble farm. You still might want an influence farm. But this means your active nobles can also go and pick up some influence in between and just, passively gain. Not all bugs are bad. Not all bugs are bad 100%. Lewis Sand, Raiden Ash, according to the patch notes, Techless and Lithanar got new start positions. Nice. They should. From what I know. Well, I didn't know about Techless. I remembered Lithanar was supposed to. Kugoth's supposed to. And a couple others. Scrag's supposed to. There are a couple people who are supposed to. So, fix an issue where Cult of Pleasure was not getting the correct elven building, removing garrisons. Why is this in, High Elves? Cult of Pleasure shouldn't be in here. This should be in Dark Elves. Okay, whatever. Fair enough, anyways. Lithanar will now receive a Shadow Mage at the start of a campaign. That's a nice. Plus, his starting position has been changed starting in Kar, made it harder to convincingly brood. So they are now encamped in the monoliths. Okay, good. Eltharion the Grim. Eltharion long-term goals now no longer mimic the other High Elf goals. Instead, he will need to deal with his rival Grom the Paunch, ensure Tor Ivres is safe in hands, and deal with other nearby greenskin and key Skaven threats. Makes sense. Increase the strength of Eltharion's second starting army and change its lore to an Archmage with a custom trait. That's nice. That's interesting. I'd like to check that. Added the specific custom trait in Archmage. She was a High Elf, to be fair. She was a High Elf. She is a High Elf, Marathi. But it should still be in the Dark Elf section where the rest of her changes are. It doesn't make sense to have them separated that massively. But I'm not going to go and fret over something like that. That's just, bad placement. Added unit capacity for Mistwalker units to the Tor Ivres main settlement buildings and remove the ability to build the Mistwalker building in this settlement. Okay, that's nice. So it just goes up as you go up. Eltharion's Mistwalker dilemma will no longer trigger for legendary lords who have been confederated. Was that not intended? I thought that was intended. That's sad. That's sad. I love getting all my legendary lords special names. That was something I really liked in Warhammer 2. I haven't done it in Warhammer 3, and now I never can. That placement makes the game literally unplayable for me. Which one? Maybe Lariel the Raiden finally joined the cult. That would be funny. That would be funny if she did. Every faction deserves a cult of pleasure. Okay, Imric's victory objectives have seen minor tweaks to better suit his starting position rather than migrating back to Ulthuan. He now needs to encounter all the dragons as well as destroy nearby major Skaven, Chaos, and Greenskin factions. Nice! They put the dragons in. Now, do they mean his dragons, or do they mean the Cathayan dragons? I hope it's all of the above. I hope all of the above. Fix an issue where Imric's dragon encounter markers wouldn't produce a generic dragon army to fight against. I didn't have that bug, but I only fought like 2 dragon fights. Clicking Imric's dragon encounter button will no longer move the camera to the bottom left of the map. Techless starting position has been changed, having emerged from the jungles and reclaimed the Fortress of Dawn for the High Elves. That makes sense. It seems like where he should be, but I kind of liked him near thing. Whatever. His victory objectives have seen minor tweaks to better suit his starting position. He now needs to gain control of the majority of the elven colonies rather than taking full control of Ulthuan. Makes sense. He's not supposed to do. Battles updated the character model in the Talisman of Hoeth quest battle, assigned character deployment position for the Lamaru quest battle, rotated. Okay. Just minor changes. Then we've got the multiplayer stuff. Is it just money changes? Yeah, it's just money changes. Here, passive ability. The get master thingamajiggy, martial mastery. I didn't know they didn't have it. But I don't recruit them. I don't recruit these boys, so I didn't know they didn't have it. I thought they just had it. It's weird that they didn't. Because they're supposed to be like the badass high elf swordsmen, and then they don't have martial mastery. That's just weird to me. The multiplayer stuff you can skip through. It only affects 6 players. Yeah, pretty much. pretty much. But this one isn't... I'm assuming this isn't just for multiplayer. I'm assuming this happens to actual unit in-game as well. And it's just weird that they didn't have it. But maybe I have no clue. Whatever. Either way, I don't use Hoeth boys, so maybe I will now. As in, because melee is more viable, but I haven't been playing High Elves, honestly, in Warhammer 3. Traits. High Elf influence traits have been rebalanced, bringing the weaker ones up to par and reducing a few outliers, while some have had their effects adjusted to make use of new possibilities introduced in Warhammer 3. I would like to see this. We might do a High Elf stream just to check out the new traits. And cry if there aren't any fun ones, or if they've ruined some of the ones I really do still like. Maybe we won't do that on the stream, just in case I do get upset. Because the traits need to be interesting and fun. There's a reason we get influence. It's not just for influencing other people. It's also for getting good heroes. They have good items? Yeah. Any centaurs in the patch notes? Yeah. There were. Cathay now has centaurs. And they should be pretty cool, Sarge. Real cool. You should try out Cathay. Technology. Restore the missing units from High Elf technology tree from the Warden and the Paunch DLC. I think there was something, yeah. Items change the mission requirements of Techless Scroll of Hoeth quest items to defeat Siege armies instead of Dark Elf armies. Change the mission requirements of Techless Scroll of Hoeth quest item to defeat Siege. But he's been moved. He's been moved over to Lustria, hasn't he? Isn't that where the Dawn one is? I'm not sure, but I'm hoping to dear God it's the other one now, because he needs Siege armies. They might have delete entrepreneur. That would be nice. I'd really appreciate if they did delete it, because it's just bad. It's taking up space and it's just bad. So if they removed entrepreneur, I'm happy. That's something I would actually appreciate. Krill adding melee attack and weapon strength to a whole army. Don't know if that was already in, but it's a good one either way. Isn't Cruel one of the Dark Elf traits? Corn performs very well in campaign. Their units are often too expensive in the multiplayer environment, even when considering that was talking about mainly multiplayer. Honestly, I haven't seen stuff about the Chaos Shrines in general, but supposedly people don't like them. And I know I don't like them. I personally don't like them. And when I say people don't like them, they're just too big and chunky and not giving enough value for the fact that they're big and chunky. General updates. The gore beats... I might be wrong on that for other people, but for me, that's how it feels. And I've heard other people say it. But I don't know if anyone else feels that way. I mean, like, if there are a lot of people who actually like them. I haven't heard anyone say, oh my God, Chaos Shrines. Amazing. I haven't heard anyone talking super great about them, is what I'm trying to say. General updates, Gore Beast, Chariots of Corn, now uses the correct icon in the demon, blah, blah. Fixed blood hosts counting towards supply. Supply lines fixed. For Corn at least. We haven't gotten to Slanesh. Fixed. Supply lines supposedly fixed. Because I need to actually add that supposedly. One needs to actually check. I almost breathed my coffee in. Fix the Skull Crusher Leader Boon of Chaos, only applying to the character instead of all Skull Crushers in the army. I like the Chaos Shrines, but they suck in battle. Yeah, they suck so bad in battle. They look cool. They seem fun. They just suck. And it sucks that they suck. Yeah, I may have just only discovered it today in the Chaos Lands. And it's just below him. Oh, is he? But he was moved. Where's the Fortress of Dawn? Where's the Fortress of Dawn? Is that the one in Lustria or the one in the other side? If it's the one on the other side, then it's fine. Short-term victory, reward and immortal winds of magic has been replaced with the chainsword. Nice. Nice. Because chainsword. But he does use winds of magic, just not heavily. Units, Bloodthirster, those are costs. They're all going cheaper, cheaper, cheaper. Minotaurs of Corns got some health. Minotaurs got some more health. More armor for the Spawn of Corn. Okay. Give her a Furious Glory. Chaos Shrine of Corn. Gives more weapon damage. And more armor-piercing weapon damage. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Radiant Ash. It's the very bottom of the desert. And Sinch is just over in the south of the Chaos Waste. Okay, so he's still on the right side. He hasn't moved over to Lustria. Then it's fine. Then it's fine. I was worried he moved over to Lustria and that wouldn't be fine. Warhammer 40k, Warhammer 40k, Warhammer soon, then if it has a chainsword. Yo, man, they already sneaking shit in. There's already weird crossovers they're doing. The chainsword in Darktide was really fun. I didn't use the chainsword. I really liked my warp sword, so I didn't use the chainsword. Kislev! Replace mammoths with marauder hunters in both of Katarin's starting enemy armies. Yeah, the mammoths, honestly, in single player, fine to handle, but because I played against Legacy, those mammoths were really fucking scary. Added sleds and lit of Grom, Chair, and Grad Froststorm special building. Technology already unlocked, granting faster access to Ice Court training mechanic. I think this is really good because you want to get wizards. Okay, and now vassals, that's good. Frostfang has been updated to better reflect how to obtain it. I thought when it was clear how, but fair enough. Fixed a bug where the alignment of monuments. Nikai is no longer too zoomed in on the character details panel. Broken visual link Nikai fixed an issue where Quaddle's units would not be recruitable if you own the Signs and the Fury DLC, but not the Prophet and the Warlock DLC. That's weird. Tic-Tac-Toe will now receive Skink Chief with a unique trait. Knight's Krokar, long victory objectives. His short victory objectives have been slightly tweaked. Quest, count towards Gorok's quest. Okay, some bug fixes. Nikai, long victory objectives. Okay, changing of his long term. If Clan Pestilence is still alive, once Nikai reaches short victory, he'll receive a dilemma allowing him to spawn a wandering army to aid the lizards in Lustria. Oxyotl, fix Oxyotl's vision of the old one spawning extremely strong armies in the early game. The ridiculous stuff. Yeah, we've seen that. Fix Oxyotl's teleportation cooldown. He is now limited to teleporting once per turn. Long term no longer targets Lustria. Instead, it requires completion of 25 medium hard visions. Okay. Oxyotl short. Yep. Nothing for Tic-Tac-Toe. I mean, nothing for Tahanawen. Nothing for our teeny weenie. Our teeny weenie is in a good place, it seems. Spells, Deliverance of these are Croak. These spells now have cooldown of... Did they not have cooldowns? Jesus Christ, that is ridiculous. I don't own Wood Elf DLC. Sorry, man. It's nice to see they are fixing all of the quests. Yeah, it does seem like they're slowly going through. And it's good to see, that the R is just like tick, 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 tick. Step by step. Okay, who are we looking at? Norska. General update. Removed secondary... Wait. Remove secondary buildings requirements for all units. Oh, that's nice. That means you can just build the one building. Move unlocks for chariot units to the smith chain. Fair. Recruit rank unit. We're trying to speed up. Ports are unchanged. Fix the map position of the Norscan Monster Hunt quest battle. Skeggy settlement in southern Nagarand have been removed and returned to the neighboring Dark Elf factions. Oh, Skeggy's gone? Okay. Well, not in the Dark Elves. Units, that's multiplayer. Giants got buffed. Ice Wolves got buffed. Trolls got more leadership. That's really good. Good. Leadership's really... Their leadership wasn't the best. Something was wrong with their mass. I never got the War Mammoth, so I don't know. King of Troll skill now applies correctly. Okay. Bilious Thundergriff Caius Giants. Get general buff. Everything's more expensive. Supposedly his mount is good. I guess in multiplayer, the war shrines for Nurgle would be good. Where's your new place? Where's your new place? Where have you been moved? Pestilence effects that are designed to increase enemy siege attrition no longer decrease it. But didn't you get moved? I thought you were being moved. I'm not seeing him being moved. I think he hasn't been moved. Children of Nurgle passive no longer utilized in the game. I guess he wasn't moved. Having found an open air and sea breeze of Myrmidons lived to... Yet Skrylxbin moves to more familiar and cramped tunnels of Karak Ungazar. Okay, so he's being moved. Fair enough. I actually thought Kugoth was being moved. My mistake. Hey, Anonymous. Squeaker wants to take care of... Remove Norska from my games, please. They are a menace. Just joking. Norska's fun. Norska's quite fun, I think. Technology plateau. Camp limit for every 5. Level 5 camp constructed. This is really good. Because we were limited to how many camps we could have. And every time breaking them down and building them up, breaking them down and building them up, even if it was just 1 or 2, could be really irritating. This, I like. Yeah. This is really good for them. This is a... That's not just big, it's large. It is. It's... that makes... Did they add Steam achievements? I don't think so. I don't think they have. But they might have. I haven't seen it in there. But that... So, for anyone who likes ogres, this is amazing. Technology Sky Titan Plateau now gives +1 camp limit for every level 5 camp constructed. This is so good. Like, this is not rushing... Because I've been slowly rushing through them because, you know, it's been a bit. This is, oh, love it. The massive Skaven, but we're now on Skaven. Need a bump. Okay, Doom Wheels need more mass. Honestly, right now, pre this patch, maybe after this patch, I'll be interested in it. Pre this patch, playing Skaven just wasn't exciting me and wasn't making me want to play them because there weren't enough armies wandering about. There was a lack of food. There was a lack of... Skaven just weren't exciting because the map was too empty. I'm hoping that changes with this update. And then I will want to play Skaven again. I'm pretty good. Hey, Black. But yeah. So infinite camps so long as you get them to 5. Yup. Yes, Gary. Yes. And it's amazing. So I'm really happy about that. Warlock Engineer who once gained experience, a 10-turn cooldown with us. No more endless Undercities. The cooldown's back. The cooldown's back for building Undercities. Added missing settlement icons for resource and strategic locations for Crookback Mountain. Improved Skaven 9 construction to reduce the amount of Skaven slave armies, especially for Clan Eshin. Yeah, because that one's just hilarious. That one's just so... You're like, oh, I'm fighting Skaven slaves again. I see. Fixed an issue where the Plague Priest from the Pestilence scheme was not spreading plagues to settlements. Yeah, that was stupid. Faction Lord Effects update. Dev note where... But yeah, it looks like they're slowly, you know, focusing in and taking the time to make the different races be the way these should. So we've seen so many end turn objectives changing with all of them. It looks like they're slowly going into it. There was so much, so this makes sense that it's taking a while. But it's good to see they're doing it, because if they weren't, that would be a little scene. Thank God for that. Now I can play Scroll. Yeah, you can! Yeah, they can! Did they increase crumbling damage for undead? Yes, they did. Undead, it wasn't doubled, but it was a good, like, extra 10 damage, I think. 10 to 12 damage, I think. It was a bit, like, but that's off the top of my head. But it went up quite a bit, yeah. We've also had a new reward for capturing Carrick 8 Peaks and tweaks Lord effects to be more versatile. Good. I don't know what it is for him. I don't play Queek much. The 15% upkeep reduction for Clan Rats and Storm Lord's army has been removed. Added -20 leadership for enemy lords and heroes in the local region. His Lord effects changed. I guess other people like him. So the 58% upkeep reduction for Clan Rats and Storm Vermin Lord's army has been removed. Added -20 leadership for enemy lords and heroes in the local region. -20 leadership. Yeah, -20. Weapon strength and melee attack buffs when fighting dwarf greenskin now apply map wide. Nice. Weapon strength and melee attack buffs when fighting. That's his Lord effect. Okay, that's a nice... It's definitely worth confederating him then. Melee attack buff when fighting dwarfs and greenskin changed from +10 to +10%. Carrick 8 Peaks changes. Controlling Carrick 8 Peaks as Queek now grants Frenzy for all Clan Rats and Storm Vermin. I don't know what it did beforehand. Tretch, Craven Tail, Dev Note, Tretch, Rizzle, The Betrayal bonus has been reworked. Tretch faction now gains the following bonuses to all armies for 3 turns whenever he declares war. Extra ambush, 25% ambush success chance, 50% enemy reinforcement time, Vanguard deployment, 1 use for Menace Below. That's kind of nifty. Other faction effects changes include +3 recruit rank for Storm Vermin has been removed. +1 armor and base weapon damage attack per unit experience rank for Clan Reds and Storm Vermin has been added. Okay, so his Storm Vermin are just extra strong. And Lord effects, added attribute Devastating Flankers, all units. But removed Vanguard deployment. Campaign! Throt Flesh Laboratory upgrades will now correctly apply their effects, such as random mutations for Skaven slave units. However, for this to take effect, players must start a new campaign. New campaign if you want to play Throt. The Warlock Engineer models is no longer offset on the campaign map after a quick save is loaded. Battle Skaven settlements having their wall tower swapped for Tier 3 and Tier 4 projectiles has been fixed. Tretch removed ability by our blood passive. Doomwell is more expensive. Slanesh. Inkari now choose to destroy our subject. Yep. No longer count towards supply lines. And here, supply lines God for Slanesh as well. +1 hour while broken game. I don't think so. No. Those prices are just for multiplayer, not campaign. Yeah, those are all, any of these prices are always multiplayer cost. Not for campaign. No problem. Chaos Knights, multiplayer changes. Chaos Warriors of Slanesh, Hell Scourges are getting some alterations. They're getting some armor piercing, which is good. Alterations here, but you need to play with them. The War Shrine for Slaanesh, maybe they are good. This is the second time where I've seen a nerf to or cap to War Shrines. Maybe they are good. I don't know if they are. Abilities. Disciple armies that are summoned via Slaanesh's Unholy Manifestation will now scale in size based on the logo Slaanesh Corruption, which they should. The max damage of Give Our Torturer's Glory, Chaos Shrine of Slaanesh, has been reduced from... because they're damaging ones. From 16 to 32 to 12 to 24. General updates. Empire! There's stuff in Empire that I know people want. Some padding has been added between Empire's technology groups so they appear nice and neat. Empire factions can no longer bypass the 5-turn cooldown on confederations through their faction mechanic. Oh, elector count. They haven't done that to Britonia. Britonia, I guess because of how long you need to research, but interesting. Elector count tweaks. Elector counts can now be invited to join wars. Greatly reduce the reinforcement delay and remove the cost for moving the reinforcement point in Empire Elector reinforced battles. Added extra cavalry units to Empire Elector reinforcement battles to help with larger map sizes. I don't play Empire much. Dev notes, previously a player would receive when Elector count was getting another fun festival. Any non-Empire control the capital. Okay. They fixed a thing where if it was occupied by Festus, it wouldn't, but okay. Fixing of actually, you're going to always be hit with the negatives of someone messing with your capitals. When you only have basic spear and archers, it helps to get second stack on quickly. Yeah, the reinforcement times will make a difference. I just don't play Empire, but it's sounding like you couldn't get your army over there before they died anymore. And now they're going, now you should be able to. You're getting cav and faster reinforcement. So that makes sense. It sounds like the maps were too big. Region tagging, now use the region tagging system present in Champions of Chaos. Okay, players now gift a border set of regions to the relevant electors, including ones not owned by an elector at campaign start, that they might have a claim to. Authority is now gained by returning an elector's capital rather than reviving them from death. This removes situations where it was better to allow an elector to die rather than save them. Note that the players will need to start a new campaign for these changes. If you're playing France or Gelt, start a new campaign. You don't have to, but if you want the updated stuff, you need to. Campaign fixed an issue where Karl Franz's short victory objectives would sometimes abort. Karl Franz will now receive guaranteed wizard at random. Oh yeah, he gets a wizard now? At the beginning of his second turn. So at the beginning of his campaign, pretty much. On the second turn, he gets a wizard, which is really nice. He needs a hero. Added a missing garrison building chain to Altdorf. the sneakiest way of saying adding walls to Altdorf. Added a missing garrison building chain to Altdorf. Sneakiest way of saying, we realized you guys wanted walls at Altdorf. Sneaky, but yeah. I've lost battles from that before. Yeah, that sucks. Of Kesselreich and Marcus Wolfite long victory objectives now target Lustria instead of the Empire. Army spawn from Marcus Wolfite hostile allocated mechanic will now only spawn from certain specific locations in Lustria. And if Wolfhart or his allies occupy these regions, the armies will no longer spawn. So you can actually stop the hostility armies. So when you're taking over the world, you won't be having random armies spawning all the time. The Altar Conclave of Wizards has been reduced to tier 3 to match the generic chain and replace it, and now also grants an additional +1 battle wizard capacity over the generic version. The player-controlled Empire can now do full diplomacy with Marienburg, including diplomatic confederation. You can confederate Marienburg! You never could confederate Marienburg! Nice! Nice! These changes to Empire actually really does. I just finished a campaign of Karl, but now I'm going to start another. Have fun. Have fun. You can confederate Marienburg. That is amazing. That is amazing. Thanks God for that. Marcus needed that. Oh yeah, Marcus needed that with the army thing real bad. It's just an irritation when you're further into the campaign. You're just like, and now I need to deal with the army again and again and again. These patch notes are certainly inspiring to me. It is sounding good. It is sounding really good. And it's sounding like things that have been complained about for a very long time. Because that Marcus thing, that wasn't a Warhammer 3 complaint. That's a Warhammer 2 complaint. Like, long time Warhammer 2 complaint. So it's nice to see that they're also going and, like, including things that have just been general grumbling in the background stuff. Marienburg always seemed like an artificial rival, but seems unnecessary with all the chaos and vamps around now. Yeah, so now you can confederate them. Now they're a possible ally. A legit ally who you could confederate. Battles. Prestige gains from battles is now visible in the post-battle screen. That's good. Updated the reinforcement. I mean, that's just nice. Not specifically good. Updated reinforcement locations for the player's allies during the Amber Bow quest battle. Multiple buildings in the Amber Bow marked as destructible. Boris Todbringer. Fix the order of Boris Todbringer's campaign skill. Fix the order of Boris Todbringer's campaign skills. When we get in Boris. Call friends. The Emperor was due a touch-up. His new Lord effect allow him to operate more effectively when supporting the electors. Faction effect now grants 25% prestige from all battles. Nice. The best of the Empire skill that used to grant +5 leadership bonus for various units has been replaced by 20% experience gain for all units. Lord's army. Lord effect has also undergone some tweaks and now grants the Guardian ability to Reichsguard and Greatswords in Karl's army. Nice, that's actually really nice. Remove +8 leadership. Added +10 charge bonus. Nice. The effect can now replenish in neutral territory. Items. Empire will be glorious now. They're still surrounded by death. But it sounds like a bunch of good changes. It sounds like a lot of good changes, honestly. So, ish. Yeah, ish. Now we will have access to cinnamon, saffron, and silk through the port of Marienburg. Indeed. And you don't have to go and conquer it if you want it. You can just confederate it. Items. Galmaraz now grants sundering attacks +75 flat armor piercing instead of 10% weapon strength. Also grants an additional +15 weapon strength. Ooh, Galmaraz's been buffed heavily when fighting against chaos. Okay, when fighting against chaos. Okay, but still, I'd say that's a buff. General updates for Tomb Kings. How many more races are there? It's really big. General updates. Removed vampiric corruption from level 3 of the protection chain from Tomb Kings. That is weird. Added bespoke overlay for the defeat panel for it. Fixed discrepancy between porthole and unit of Direwolf's units. Campaign. There are some light tweaks to Collegia's short victory to make them more vampiric-centric. Nice. Give us Neferata and then we have our true thing. Phil, Empire will be playable now for people who aren't great at Total Warhammer. Yeah. It sounds like enough of a buff. Yeah. He will definitely be fighting some chaos. Yeah, he sure will. You are 2/3 of the way there. Keep going. You can do it. Thank you for letting me know how close I am. That's close enough for me to keep going. But yeah, Neferata. Give us Neferata. Let's go and have that true vampire Tomb Kings head-to-head. Campaign. There are some slight tweaks to Kaladi Short that was here. Setch will now receive a Tomb Prince with a unique trait at the start of the campaign. That's nice. Tomb Kings can now increase hero capacity repeatedly via the mortuary cult. That's what someone said in there. That's really nice. Repeatedly. Battles. Update the subtitles displayed speed in Arkane's Staff Quest. Items fixed a unique item in the mortuary cult and correctly showing the icon representing that they could be crafted multiple times. Oh, good. Dev Siege. Added missing SFX special effects for Siege Sorcerer Lord on disc When doing casting animations, half of the library and corruption chains income increase is now winsome magic dependent. Okay. Campaign Kairos starting position has been changed with his mysterious goals in Fortress of Dawn. Now complete. Kairos has retreated to the Fate Weaver's crevasse just across the ocean. So I think that's down with Oxy. I think that might be with Oxy. I'm not good with exact locations. Multiplayer cost. No longer, the Lords of Change no longer fires of Siege passive. Soul Grinders get some more ammunition. His Soul Grinders aren't the best, so that, sure, whatever. Sword of Change. Gets a cooldown. Recharges when wins are over 15, which should be, that's Giver of Arcane Glory, Chaos War Shrine of Siege. Effect radius is infinite now and gives more. That makes sense. That makes sense for that one. General update. Vampire Coast artillery crews now play context sensitive. VO. I don't know what that means. Vampire Coast armies building Vampire Count Siege Towers. Fixed Vampire Coast armies building Vampire Count Siege Towers. That's funny. Added a bespoke overlay for the defeat panel for the Vampire Coast. Fixed an issue where zombie resurrection sound effects could be spammed if multiple entities were brought back to life at once. Not sure. Visual overlay? Contest. Maybe visual overlay. Don't know. I'm assuming not too important. Fixed incorrect display of exploding unit phase ability on the bloated corpse. Well, you know, they didn't mention the ammo healing one, so I guess it's in their list of ongoing bugs for 2.3 and beyond. I do think so. I think it's something they're not sure. They might not know how to fix it yet. They might not know how to fix it. It might be one of those irritating ones where they're like, no. We'll figure it out later. Let's do the other stuff. I'm fine with it. Honestly, I don't mind. I don't mind going up against it, and I don't mind having it. It's fun when I have it, and when I go up against it, no skin off my back. I don't mind. I think it's just funny. It's not the end of the world. VO voiceover makes sense. Voiceover makes sense. Makes sense. Vampire Coast shows now play context-sensitive voiceover. Okay, fair enough. So as long as they still shout, "Deckhands!" I'm fine. Nice. Fixed an issue while chill guys were not healing from effects as expected. Remove some unnecessary penalties from Kemmler's AI. Oh, was Kemmler being interesting? Fixed an issue where the Balefire aura from the Balefire corpse card would not apply. Battles updated. The hard collision in Vlad's Blood Drink quest battle. Banshees, an ethereal unit. We want to make them damage armor piercing versus normal damage output ratio consistent with other ethereals. Base weapon is 0, and they've got some more armor piercing. It is armor piercing, so sure. Ability Manfred's one Carson Lord effect granting him 15 additional magic reserves will now no longer revert upon loading save file. I'm hoping this applies to everyone who's had this issue. I'm assuming it does, but I don't know if it does. I'm hoping it's everyone. Warriors of Chaos. General update. Fix an issue where our... Okay, let's quickly. Are there well since they came out? Marked units of characters. Largely speaking, we are very happy with where they stand. Address with changes to the mono-god races. Honestly, Warriors of Chaos are in a good place. Undivided Chaos War Shrine has been not nearly as performed as its marked counterparts, and so we are doubling the physical. That's the Chaos Shrine, and I just actually don't like them. The work on Aspiring Champions have got them performing there better than before, but we felt they could use another bump up to their hit points. This should bring them more in line with units of 16 entity counts. Aspiring Champions are getting better. General update. Fix an issue where Arcane Wisdom was not granting warplane attacks. Warriors of Chaos can now choose to destroy or subjugate targets to satisfy their short victory objectives. Good. Fixed variety of skills not applying correctly to champions of Chaos Army lines. Actually, that's one I haven't seen yet. Fixed variety of skills not applying correctly for... Have we gotten to Wood Elves yet? I don't think we have it. Wood Elves and a bunch of the Chaos stuff, because Nurgle didn't have it. A bunch of the Lord effects don't apply correctly. Fix an issue where Valkia's shield would T-pose after the death animation. Nice, nice, nice. Festus Azazel, Valkia, and Village can now upgrade demonic infantry into their exalted variants. The Chaos Sorcerer Lord's cape no longer has a mind of its own after the unit's death. Okay. Fix an issue where that was causing... Gain much higher post-battle loot values than intended. I didn't know that was happening, but that's cool. Sigvald's building and commandments now spread Slaanesh corruption rather than Chaos Undivided. Yep, makes sense. Valkia's bloodletting ability at max level now allows casualty replenishment in foreign territory. Nice. Fixed Valkia's soul gain from post-battle sacrifice and not being increased by her faction trait. Fix. Battle were positioned within impassable terrains. Okay, portals being placed where they should be. Units updated Festus' battle behavior to make him engage more in melee combat than before. Okay. And a missing AI usage configuration, Festus healing elixirs and Harbinger of Pestilence. Giants got their overall buff. Leadership to Trolls. Yeah, we saw Trolls have overall gotten more leadership. Hey, welcome, Zardak. So long as they still... We're all good. Right. Yeah, still good. Giver of Glory, Chaos War Shrine. Slight buff, like they said, to physical resistance. Skills, fix an issue where Undivided, Demon Princess skill, Chaos Marked, and Atmosphere of Ruin did the same thing. Fair enough. Sigvald. The innate trait now grants the Fascination Army abilities to Sigvald's army if he is your faction leader. Egomaniac now grants the Narcissism ability to Sigvald's army if he is your faction leader. Born to Serve now grants the Sweet Sorrow ability of Sigvald's army if he is your faction leader. Were they being granted if he wasn't your faction leader? Favorite Son now grants Armor Piercing to Marauders and Chosen of Slaanesh. Marked by Slaanesh now grants +5 melee defense to Marauders. Warrior Bup to his units. That's all for Sigvald. Tech Sig now has access to Vicious Lash technology. Fixed an issue where the technology requirements for Nurgle / Forsaken units upgrades were the wrong way around. Nice. They can get exalted demons now. I was so pissed when you couldn't. That's much more fun. It makes sense for them to get them, right? It makes sense for them to get them. Any Warhound buffs? Nope. I think someone actually got something for Warhound, but Norska got something for Warhounds, I think, maybe? But I didn't see anything for Chaos getting it. I think Warhounds with Norska might have gotten some kind of tweak. And then there was a visual thing with Warhounds for someone else. Not Chaos, though. Nothing for Chaos. Oh, I hope so. I got to have Doggo stacks. Not for Chaos. Warhounds for Chaos have not been altered. Item. Scarlet Armor Valkia. Reduce the intensity settings of the item. Max kills required is now down to you only need to kill 100. Min kills required. Oh, max killed required 100. Min kills required 50. So between 50 to 100. Whereas before it was quite a bit more. Wood Elves. Adding missing Wood Elf units to allied recruitment. Nice. Say the special Wood Elf outpost reward Amber. Good. Missing garrison building to Wood Elf settlements. Nice. Added a starting development kindred's point for Orion and Durthu. Good. Faction Lord effects updates. Dev note, we're continuing to iterate on the faction and lord effects of older lords with the goal of making sure every character has their own thematic playstyle and to incorporate. Yeah, we've been noticing that, which makes us really happy. I do really like that. That has this here that they're going and focusing in on each lord and giving them unique victory conditions and things that fit who they are is a really nice sign to see. Orion. As the face of the more hostile side of the Wood Elves, we've tweaked Orion so that he focuses much more on campaign map mobility and aggression. Orion is now rewarded for fighting multiple factions at once and gains improved tools to allow him to zip around the map, opening up more expansionist playstyle than is available to other Wood Elves. Oh, that's really interesting, because Wood Elves are tall. We've also tweaked the Wild Hunt to have it trigger more frequently, though with a shorter duration, meaning that it can have a more reliable impact on Orion's campaign. Oh, nice. Changes made to his faction effect. What else sound like they've gotten a good change? Good amount of changes. New effect, more movement for World's Roots. After war. Orion. Only Orion's army? Yeah, only. Okay. For each war active, you get minus 8% upkeep for Orion only. And minus 4 for all armies for his faction. That's nifty. That's real nifty. I like that. Yeah, that's really nifty. This is a total war as Orion. The upkeep would be great. Yeah, it would be. That would be really good. You could actually... That's interesting. Removed 10 leadership in force battles. Okay. Remove 15% upkeep for cavalry units. Fair enough. Whatever. Changes made to his Wild Hunt. Duration is now 5 turn 5. Cooldown is now 10. So yeah, that is more frequent. Now starts with Wild Hunt already active turn 1. Ryan now gets 50% battle movement speed when the Wild Hunt is active, so he can keep up with his Wild Rider. Zoom zoom. Oh god. The zoom zoom too. Nice. Cheese incoming, send a hero to the other side of the map and declare war on them all for free armies. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of funny. But nice, good. All characters get 25% movement range after raising a settlement during the Wild Hunt. No cooldown and deep root teleporting during the Wild Hunt. Nice. Changes to his lore effects. I like what I'm seeing for Orion. Weapon strength and the charge bonuses buffs now affect all cavalry units, not just Wild Riders and Stag Knights. Remove plus 5% faction wild missile damage. Ooh, they removed some missile damage. Well, fine. But he's like the archer one. He's the one that's really good with archers. He's the only one where I might go archer spam. Oh, and I guess the sisters. Sisters are archer spam. Cav and on any war, so you could maybe have free Cav stacks cheese. You could definitely, you might be able to. It really depends how many wars you need to get. You can get Orion's army free decently, I think, but the other ones, it would be just really rough. But you can get really cheap armies. Can you? No, I'm taking that back. I'm taking that back. I mean, I guess you could. You need a lot of armies to get them pretty cheap. But, yeah. A lot of wars. Changes made to his never-ending hunt skill. Now grants 25% movement after raising a settlement for Orion himself. Okay. Other changes, Wild Rider recruit time set to 1 turn for all Wood Elf factions, as in Warhammer 2. Nice. Dev no Dirthu. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit. Okay, we're good. We're almost there. Sounds like a good time. Yeah, it does. 25 wars to be precise. For it to be free? Okay, remember the -8 on the RME is only for Orion. All other armies is 4. Oh yeah, 4 times 25. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's very, I think my mind is slowly melting from all the reading. Very slowly. It's all good. But yes, because 4 times 25, yes. You are completely 100% right. Didn't know. With Draika heavily focusing on the tree spirit side of the Wood Elf roster, Durthu was left with a clear niche. Back before he got really cranky, Durthu was the architect of the original alliance between the Wood Elves and the Forest Spirits. As such, we're giving him a host of tools that open up new synergies between the two halves of the roster. His ancient treemen now provide map-wide missile damage buffs. His ancient treemen now provide map-wide missile damage buffs when casting, and both spellsingers and ancient treemen will become more powerful when working together. So he's meant to be a mixed bag. On top of that, his treemen can now also tear down walls. Finally! Nice! Because the ogres can do this. Makes me happy. Opening up new avenues of attack for mobile elf units. Nice. Nice. I feel like I get into wars with 25 factions. Half my campaigns in Mortal Empires Chaos Vassals are huge for that. Very possibly. Durthu was once love, now he is pain. Yo, Durthu's still love. Durthu's still love. And his treemen can break down walls. But can everyone? Tell me that everyone's treemen can do it. But maybe it's only Durthu's. Want all the treemen to be able to rip down walls. This theme of synergy extends to Durthu's personal army with his treemen and treekin, now providing potent area of effect as encouraged to mix units together to maximize their performance benefits. We also found that Draika's combination of much stronger treatment and much earlier access to him was probably a bit too much of a powerful combo, giving a major power spike as soon as you built a tier 3 settlement. As such, we've split the difference between the two tree spirit focused characters. Both Draika and Durthu now get access to treatment at tier 4 rather than at tier 3 and 5 respectively. Sadness. Changes made to his faction effect, so Draika's getting a nerf, but Durthu's getting a buff. New attribute Wallbreaker for all treemen and ancient treemen. He gets only his people do it. New attribute Mastery of the Element wins for all ancient treemen and embedded Spellsinger heroes. New passive ability Wrath of the Woods, map-wide missile damage buff when casting for ancient treemen. Remove 15% recruitment cost for branch wraiths. Remove plus 10 melee attack in forest battles. Okay. Sure. Changes made to his Lord effects, plus 5 weapon strength faction-wide. That's been removed. Remove plus 10 charge bonus for tree spirit units. Now he's got passive ability, Resplendence of Luminescent AoE melee buff to all treekin units. Added passive ability Annoyance of Necklings, AoE melee debuff for treeman units. That's nice, maybe. Maybe. Durthu looks good. That's bad for Draika. It is bad for Draika. Draika's being nerfed. Durthu's getting a buff. Wood Elves no longer declare war on other AI. This one, I'm just not sure. There's stuff in the tech trees that do similar stuff, but I can't remember them by heart. Wood Elves no longer declare war on other AI Wood Elves during the Wild Hunt in-game scenario. Fix the Spirit of the Elder Dilemma, offering to confederate the Wood Elf faction spirits of Shunlin, lacking rewards under each options. Fix cases where Wood Elf army couldn't teleport in or out of the Haunted Forest or Jungles of Qian Forest region. Battles. Major settlement controlled by the Wood Elves now have walls and defensive settlement battles. Major settlements controlled by... Okay, good. Interesting. But they still have the whole thing where things don't update. Or maybe that's been fixed as well and it's just not in here. Unit Sock Riders added Vanguard. Makes sense. Recruitment time has been reduced to 1 turn. Good. Looking forward to trying that. Smashing down walls sounds fun. You can do it with ogres already, but yeah, it's good that the treemen get it. But they only get it with Durthu. Weird that they're just nerfing Draika and buffing Durthu. Fixed Draika's technology, Wisdom of the Wildwood, not giving physical resistance to the relevant units. Campaign. Character experience. Dev note. In Warhammer 2, characters' experience from battles was based entirely on the result type of that battle. A heroic victory would grant a certain flat amount, and a crushing defeat much less. In Warhammer 3, this was changed so that the value of the enemy army played a major role. While this resolved some issues, such as reducing the amount of XP you could get from trivial battles, it didn't address them all. Notably, battles' result types continue to play a major part. even though the logic producing them was not clear. Whether you got heroic, close, or Pyrrhic victory could often feel arbitrary and random. We kind of know when we're going to get them. But yes, they do seem a little bit questionable at times. This also greatly disadvantages the AI's own progression, which tends to lose a larger proportion of battles than the player. Additionally, the system resulted in substantially faster progression compared to Warhammer 2, especially fighting against high-value armies. Yeah, the big armies, one could level up fast. You can level up fast. While we are happy with the rate of experience gain being faster than Warhammer 2, it also greatly increased the range of XP you could earn from a single battle. This meant that the rate of progression could be radically different depending on factors such as starting position and playstyle. As such, we are making the following changes. Victory type is no longer used as part of the experience calculation. Instead, experience will be granted based on a combination of the enemy's army's value and the proportion of the enemy army that was destroyed, regardless of whether the battle was a win or loss. Oh, that's kind of cool. In other words, destroying 80% of the enemy army will grant the same amount of experience regardless of whether the battle was a heroic victory or crushing defeat. After all, failure is often the best teacher. If the enemy army is fully destroyed as a result of the battle, for example, if it was caught in forced march stance and could not retreat, it will grant the full amount of experience even if some units were able to escape during the battle. That is sounding really good. I like this to a certain degree. No, I just like this. I like this. The formula used to calculate experience has been adjusted to narrow the range of possible experience reward. Experience gain will be around the same while fighting low and moderate value armies, but less when fighting very high value ones. Okay, so they are curbing it a bit. Heroes will now gain around 50% more experience from participating in battles, bringing their progression rate closer to that of lords. Yeah, I have noticed that heroes just level up way slower. Yeah, you could be right. Also means Sneak City wins won't give much XP. I don't know. I think they might still because it considers them dead, like a Force March army. So I think you'll still get decent XP from it. Because this is considered them dead because that army is gone, because those units are gone. So I think Sneak City will give decent XP. But that's what I think. And I'm hoping this also counts for money gain. When you auto-resolve a fight, you usually get more captives and money from auto-resolving it than if you fight it manually and a bunch of guys run away. I'm hoping this applies to all situations where they're all dead. In addition to this, we're adding a new mentor skill to every lord and hero. This unlocks at level 30 and can be upgraded further at level 40 and 50, and allows them to share a portion of their experience earned among characters of the same type across the faction. Plus, the lord version of the skill will grant increased experience gain to heroes in their army. Interesting. Settlement and garrison changes frequency of unwalled settlements and battles. We continue to look for a sweet spot for the unwalled settlement battlementides. The following changes will adjust the frequency of the battle type and reduce it. How much will depend on the player and also the AO's playstyle. Additionally, we have lost some of the more detailed and nuanced pieces of content when we transition from ME to IE, but are in the process of re-adding some of this flavor. All major settlements will retain their walled settlement battles enabled by the wall effect on their primary chain. All minor settlements will now trigger a land battle by default. It's happening. Add in an effect that has a chance to turn the default land battle into an unwalled settlement battle, similar to the wall effect on major settlements leading to a walled settlement battle. Similar to the wall effect on major settlements leading to a walled settlement battles. The effect has been added to most standard garrison chains starting on Tier 2 and Tier 3. And now trigger a land battle by default. Add an effect that has a chance to turn the default land battle into an unwalled settlement battle. Has a chance to turn the default land battle into an unwalled? chance? The below exceptions should remain as they were before. Major settlements in Norska and Ogre homelands still do not provide wall sieges, but will change to unwalled settlement battles. Wood Elf Glades still do not provide walled sieges, but will change to their unwalled settlement battle version. Wood Elf Outposts will still do not provide walled sieges, but will change into their walled route battle version. Beastman Hearthstones will still do not provide walled sieges, but will change into their Beast Path battle version. There are some additional changes too. Added a unit to Castle Reich. Okay. This is very interesting. A chance. I still don't get why they're saying a chance. That looks the same as the mod I was using, which made things a lot better for me. But what do they mean, a chance? To turn a default battle. Add an effect that has a chance to turn. I don't like wishy-washy language when it's something like that. There are some additional changes too. Missing siege defense tower projectiles upgrade to have been added for Kislev Ogres Nurgle. Heroes have been added to settlement garrisons from hero unlocking buildings. Nice, corn, but cat, good. In addition, we have been missing spells to garrison heroes. Nice. Occasionally they might remember they have walls and not sally out wall. Sometimes they'll realize they have all minor settlements will now trigger land battle by default. Okay, ignore that one. Added an effect that has a chance to turn the default land battle into an unwalled settlement battle. Do we still get minor defense battles? I'm not getting it. It says the chance relies on having garrison building tier 2 and 3. I think the effect has been added to most standard garrison chains starting on tier 2 and 3. So wait, you don't get walls at tier 3? Because you used to get walls on tier 3. So no walls on 3, but a chance on 2 and 3. So it's a... Okay, we'll see. We're playing later anyways. I'm not... I find that very... Chance is not what I like hearing. Personally. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I see. So it's 50-50 whether they sally out. I'm sure if you get walls, you will have a walled siege. That's what I'm thinking too, because tier 3 is walls. Tier 2 is a chance. What? Finally, additional units at all tiers for special settlement locations with 3 to 4 units of higher units quality have been added to the following. Because a bunch of garrisons were not really good. Khemri, Lamia, Black Pyramid, Tori Vrest, Karakay Peaks, Hellpit, Gainvale, Hexawaddle, Itza, Karakay, a bunch of places. AI aggression, game difficulty, yes! We have received quite a lot of feedback related to the AI and game to increase the aggressiveness. They're putting the aggressiveness up. However, this is a double-edged sword for players that are already struggling with the game. This has the potential to worsen the experience. We will need a lot more feedback on this topic to decide if these changes are correctly balanced. Please be vocal about your experience and don't forget to add your difficulty settings. I think they can increase aggressiveness. Increase general AI army aggressiveness to balance between the current Warhammer 3 and Warhammer War 2 values. Add additional scaling for aggressiveness on very hard and legendary. Good. Tweaks for AI behavior around settlements. They are now more likely to attack. Thank God. Increased factional potential bonus for higher difficulties. Increased faction potential bonus for higher difficulties. Increased faction potential. Added increased XP gain for AI units. Added increased XP gain for AI characters. They're getting background AI XP again. Reduced AI generated diplomatic goals from 2 to 1. It's just a skill selection. Increases. AI deals with characters' yin and yang effects. They're going to build garrison wall buildings. Makes sense. Yeah, we'll now have a stealth unit trying to... Yep, settlement AI will now be aware of stealth units trying to capture victory points. What do they mean, aware of? Fix a bug stopping the AI from correctly constructing buildings. AI will now reliably research technologies that cost money. Remove it by preventing the AI using their toggleable abilities. No longer be able to directly declare war on vassal human factions. Fix multiple cases wherein respawned AA factions would become inactive. No more dead factions. So, no more dead factions. Good to see. Address a bug where they would avoid entering a settlement when attacking. They will no longer be reluctant to upgrade last level of chain. Chain was already present in faction. Attacking armies in siege battles will no longer commit to approaching a ladder if there are other easier means of nearby entry. Nice, because that was really irritating. Is that only for the AI or also for us? Improve the AI's use of agents, which should lead to more agents being embedded in armies in fewer cases of a larger number of agents from several factions. They now use a new dynamic region hint system as part of its evaluation on where to declare war. This should decrease war declarations by distant factions that are unlikely to come and attack you. Various factions have had their base faction potential change as part of start position moves and other changes. Legacy nerfs to the Burrow Legion when controlled by the AI from Warhammer 1 have been removed as they were no longer necessary. Thanks to the modding community for bringing this to our attention. I think that's kind of funny. Minor siege factions have been prevented from using changing of the ways in the IE map as well as Realms of Chaos map. This will likely require a new campaign to take effect. This was supposedly already done, but proof that it wasn't. Yeah, it was a bit stupid to take a settlement like that. It was. But I'm wondering if it still works. I wonder what the detection is, because I'm going to still try. General higher incentive to construct landmarks and special buildings. Updated AI construction for Empire. This is AI behavior towards building. Prologue, the Lost Gods, fixed an issue where Immortal Empires. We got the Skaven theme. Nagash now starts flying when the Pyramid of Initium suit. We got flying, diplomacy, low reliability rate no longer increases chance of successfully inviting another faction to join your wars. So that's God. Confederation has been rebalanced, making it easier to achieve. Specifically, the base version has been reduced slightly. The weighing for the player's military strength has been increased slightly. You will gain a bonus to Confederation if you own regions within the currently active region hint group for that AI faction. Plus, the penalty to Confederation for the target having recently conquered a settlement now only applies for 7 turns, down from 10. Plus, the penalty to Confederation for the target having recently conquered settlement now only applies for 7 turns, down from 10. Oh, interesting. Altharian and Karian now have diplomatic contact at the start of the game. That will help clear that area up. Add a front-end customization option to enable Diplomacy, Peace, Confederation for endgame scenario factions. Oh, so you can chip peace out. Encountering a vassal faction will automatically count as meeting its master. Sure. Fix an issue where resurrected faction could not be engaged with via diplomacy. That means dead factions fix again. The gift to vassal option is no longer available if the vassal is dead and unable to resurrect. Reduce public order penalty from Confederation from 8 to 4. Battles general updates. Add a missing army abilities to multiple quest battles. Fix missing tooltips for battle leader. Invalid usage flags on our abilities. Update a new land to correct. Actively load barricades in the style of the settlement they were contracted. Okay. Or just custom battle will no longer prevent army's abilities from working correctly. That's a weird one. Multiplayer. Nope. 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 It's not all multiplayer. Okay, multiplayer, rank matchmaking, they got separated. Game, balanced game combination, great and all, but it's important they look and sound great as well. So graphics got some updates. Audio. We've enhanced the audio of several Lord selected videos. Okay. Sound. UI, add a new full screen parallax background illustration for Beastman. Okay. They're actually putting more of the stuff in. I'm actually glad because the last couple of patch notes, there have been massive missing chunks. for specifically, there were some UI changes in some of the patches, and then there were some other stuff, and they were just not in the patch notes. It's like, what's the point of patch notes if you're not putting everything in it? But otherwise, we're looking good, and we've got, since we've mainly managed, as you can see, we've crammed a lot into update 2.2. Yeah, it has been a lot. And I'm really, okay. Overall thing, really like what we've seen. Obviously, we need to play to see if we actually like it. Obviously. Really important things about this. It sounds like they're listening to the community, including community stuff from Warhammer 2, from way back. A lot of stuff needs testing. This is a big update. Really happy that it looks like they're actually putting everything in the patch notes that was most likely in the patch. Maybe they're still not, but it looks like they're putting 90% of it in at least. But yeah, hopefully they respond to rally points falling rather than blocking stealth units. See, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping if something's captured, because that would make 100% sense. If a point is captured, they should go and recapture it. If you sneak back out of that point and you know they take it back, good, fine. But they shouldn't be able to see you. But overall, I'd say it's looking good. Yeah. Yeah, patch looks good. Patch looks good. I'm happy overall. This makes me happy. It looks good, and yeah, that stuff. Yo, so I had a good time. I hope you did too. And we'll be back later tonight. Oh, wait, we need to do the thing. We need to do the thing. We need to see. We're doing as soon as possible, I see. We need to see when we're doing teeny weeny. We're doing endgame prices as soon as possible, which might be really, really scary. But we got this. We got this. Do the thing. Officially voted, and do you want to go and check out more patch notes with Legend this time? Or he's playing High Elves. He's finally playing High Elves. So go and check out some High Elves with Legend. Have a great time. I will see you later when I've had a shower and maybe a snack and a drink. My throat is dead. It was really good. I'll see you later tonight. Bye-bye. 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 See you later. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.